Welcome everybody to a review of the first film in the Enter the Video Store Empire Screams Arrow Video box set. So yeah, it's a fantastic looking box set, and the first film in this set is from 1984, and it is The Dungeonmaster, also known as Ragewar. So yeah, this is directed by several people due to the way that the plot is laid out. So it's also directed by the likes of Stephen Ford. Not seen anything else from before. Charles Band, who did Trancers 2, The Return of Jack Death, and Dollman vs. Demonic Toys. He's also executive producer on the rest of the films in this set. Also directed by Ted Nicolau, who also did Terror Vision. John Carl Buchler, who also did Friday the 13th Part 7, as well as another film in this set, Cellar Dweller, as well as Peter Manoogian, who also did Demonic Toys, and another film in this set, Arena, as well as Rosemary Turco and David Allen, who I've also not seen anything from before. So this cuts it 73 minutes long. It's a fantasy anthology film with smatterings of sci-fi elements and horror. It stars Jeffrey Byron, who we have not seen anything else from before in terms of a leading role, although we did have an extremely small role in the 2009 version of Star Trek. Also stars Richard Moll, who was in Jingle All the Way, House, and The Sword and the Sorcerer. In House, he played Big Ben, the Vietnam veteran who comes back to life and sort of shooting up the place. And also stars Leslie Wing, who was in a small role in The Frighteners. So it's about Paul, who is a computer whiz who spends more time with his machine than his girlfriend, who finds that he has been chosen as a worthy opponent for Mestima, an evil wizard who has spent centuries searching for a challenging foe. After having his computer change into a wristband weapon, Paul does battle with a variety of monsters before finally coming face to face with the ultimate adversary. So even though this is by no means a perfect film, it is a solid start to the set. Now sure, it is quite light on plot, as it is basically a little bit of an introduction in terms of our two lead characters, Paul and his girlfriend, and then we quickly move on to these series of challenges set by Mestima. So yeah, that's why it's a kind of an anthology film, because these different challenges kind of make up the rest of the plot. So that's why it's directed by several people, as each person directs their own challenge. And yeah, so it is quite light on plot in regards to that, but you can definitely see, and you can also definitely see some of the limits of the production budget, as just when you think something's getting really rather quite tense and spectacle, it kind of like cuts it short, because quite frankly they didn't have the money for it. But still, there are a lot of imaginative set pieces, and the production, when it does hit right, does hit really rather well. Richard Moll is also really entertaining as the villain Mestima. The supporting cast is decent, it is well paced, generally manages to be engrossing, has several fun scenes, the score is great, and the inclusion of Wasp is never a bad thing, the heavy metal band, as they star in one of the in one of the challenges. So yeah, and I also really like one scene which involves this like stone monster, which is all like stop motion animated. Really reminded me of all the likes of the Ray Harryhausen films from the 50s and 60s in that regard. So yeah, as I showed in my main unboxing of this set, you get 3 art cards and a poster with 2 sides on it, but I've shown them off already in that video, so you can see that video if you want to see that. But yeah, really cool poster and really cool printed disc as well. So you can see lead singer Wasp from Wasp, Blackie Lawless there, which is one of the challenges, like I said. And yeah, on the disc itself, you got a new 2K restoration from the original camera negative, and there are 3 versions on the disc as well. You've got the US theatrical version, which was released as The Dungeonmaster. You got the pre-release version, which was released as Ragewar, and the international version, which was also released as Ragewar, which are all available by seamless branching. You got original lossless mono audio, optional English subtitles, new audio commentary with star Jeffrey Byron, moderated by film critics Matty Brudukas and Dave Wayne. I'm probably saying that name wrong. I reject your reality and substitute my own, which is a famous line from the film, and it's the title for a new interview with star Jeffrey Byron. You got theatrical trailer and alternate trailer, image gallery, and the reversible artwork that we can see here. So yeah, this is the original artwork through the case, which I don't like as much as the new one, to be honest. I much prefer that. Looks way cooler. But yeah, I watched the pre-release version, which has a prologue or an epilogue, or whichever one it's called. A small bit at the beginning before the titles, and it's got some additional scenes that were cut for censors in the US. So yeah, but overall a really, really solid film. Nothing that's going to blow you away by any means. It's certainly not perfect, like I said, but I found it to be really entertaining. It was in and out before you knew it, and because it is an anthology film, it breaks up the film nicely. And when he's talking about it only being 73 minutes to 78 minutes long, depending on the version you're watching, it's really not going to outstay its welcome whatsoever, thanks to the way it is structured. So yeah, really solid start to the box set, and hopefully it will only get better from here. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you've seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.